Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author Matt Adams.
I've always liked coming to Seattle, and I played well in the Jones Cup one year as well. So it's a place that I really like coming to, and the golf has been great to me so far. So looking forward to keeping that up. Yeah, I've had some time off. It's been quite nice. I had surgery on my knee, so I had about 4 weeks off from golf. First 2 weeks, I did not miss it at all. I'm not going to lie, but last couple of weeks, it's been itching in my fingers quite a bit, so it's been nice to get back into practicing, playing a lot more at home, and now actually bought a house as well, so kind of getting old and getting a lot of grown-up points in that space. So, but it's nice to be back playing tournaments again, and you miss it when you're not out here. Early in the year, this must have been somewhere around April, May, something like that, it started to act up a little bit, and I didn't really know what it was. We got it checked out, and then I still felt fine, so it didn't hinder me in terms of my training or my play. But then after consulting with a few doctors, I knew that I needed to have surgery at some point. But I also felt like I could last throughout the season, obviously playing through the playoffs, and then after the playoff was a good time to kind of deal with it and get it done. Yeah, I feel 100%. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And yeah, I had about 4 weeks off from playing golf. I didn't touch a golf club. Started hitting short pitches and wedges at first, and then to kind of load it a little bit more and put more pressure on it. And now I'm actually a little bit stronger now than I was before, so that's good. Yeah, absolutely. It was a big deal. I felt like I took advantage of a lot of programs last year with the PGA Tour U to get my tour status, and then obviously the next, where that was the main goal that I had in the fall when I played. And after the Ryder Cup, I still played all these events to try to get that and to try to get into the top 50 in the world. And yeah, it kind of propelled after that, but it was definitely the head start that I needed.
All of it. Honestly, becoming an aunt to little Grayson would be my favorite, obviously off the golf course, but I think all the moments that I've gone through, the lows and highs, they've shaped me to, who I am. They're constantly shaping me to who I am. I'm constantly growing, and I can't pick one certain point because I've just enjoyed kind of all of it. Yeah, I feel good about my game. It's nice to have my coach, Jamie Mulligan, out here as well for the practice days, and definitely going to prioritize rest these next few days. So, yeah, I mean, I know that, I have the ability to play well. I've played well on this golf course. I feel comfortable out here. So it's more about prioritizing probably rest and recovery after last week.
Last week, the slow play issue popped up again. Do you think it's an issue on LPGA?
Yes, I personally think it's a pretty big issue. I think it's not good for the fans that come out and watch us. If it was me personally, I would be very, very annoyed watching for 5 hours, over 5 hours, 5 hours and 40 minutes, close to 6. I just think it really drags the game down, and I think that it really, really needs to change. I think that it just needs to be, players just need to be penalized. Rules officials need to watch from the first group. Once they get 2 minutes behind, 1 minute behind, it just slows everything down. I mean, to be standing over a putt for 2 to 3 minutes, that's ridiculous. To be, when a group in front of me is on the green and I'm in the fairway, I'm already getting ready. I'm getting my numbers ready. I'm talking about the shot. So by the time it's my turn, I already have my game plan. Like I'm hitting right after the person that just hit in front of me. I think people overanalyze, one, and I think people just need to be ready faster. People start their process a little too late and they stand over it too long. But again, I think we need more people on the ground to monitor pace of play. I don't think we have enough people to monitor it.
All right, we welcome you to the RSM Classic. As you just heard from Nelly, you heard from our defending champion, Ludwig Goldberg, and we are here. That beautiful shot that you're looking at is, of course, where the RSM Classic is taking place this week here at Sea Island. Matt Adams here with you. Coming up on the show today still, we're going to be hearing from Zach Johnson and Chris Kirk. I had a chance to catch up with both of those two gents, and a concerning story for Brian Harman that we'll get into in some detail when we get an opportunity here. Doug Opheim is sitting next to me. Doug is the chairman of the U.S. Foundation for RSM. How are you doing? How are you holding up?
Great. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm
Good
doing
to see
well,
you.
thank you. So what is the U.S. Foundation?
U.S. Foundation is a foundation we started 10 years ago to help support youth in the communities that we operate in. And so we have now been at it 10 years. Our signature event of the year is the Power of Love campaign that happens around the RSM Classic.
I was going to ask you, when you a decade on now, you're going to put together this effort to help, and it's helping in the communities where RSM is. That's a key point for these kids. And yet the foundation of all that is golf.
Always has been. It's always, our entrance into the golf platform had a lot to do with stewardship. And this is just something we have built on over the years. There's 15 years of this tournament, but really it's been the last 10 years we've kicked it up as far as the RSM US Foundation and the support of our communities.
Talking about kicking it up, on Tuesday night at the Pro-Am draw party, Doug led a merry band that had the huge check. What was it, 5-6 feet wide, something
Easily.
like that, 7 feet. And they revealed what the results were of their collective efforts for the year that was passed. And once again, it was a record sum. You want to share with the world?
It was. We presented a check of over $5 million this year, and the key is we have over 12,000 employees participated in achieving that $5 million. But the key thing is the total is now $48 million over 10 years. But in reality, it's been the last 5 or 7 years because, like I said, it took a while to get going. But what I told everybody that night, I said, don't get lost in the numbers. Get lost in the fact of how many lives we are impacting with what we do with that money.
How do you know how many lives you're impacting? Do you guys get feedback from that where people say to you, here's how it impacted my organization?
Well, we don't really total it up, and I can't tell you it's 2,342. But what we do on every board meeting, every foundation board meeting, we have what we call an impact moment. And then we will have one of the charities that we have impacted come on and give a 2 or 3 minute and talk about the individuals that we have impacted with this grant. And it gets it back to reality. Like I said, when you're running a multi-million-dollar foundation, you do get lost in the numbers. But then impact moment is really designed to get us back to the lives that we are changing with that money.
I'll tell you what, from an accounting perspective, I'd like to have an accountant that tells me don't get lost in the numbers. Just as an aside, I think that's very strong.
We do for some programs, but not all the programs. Of course.
Now, back to the point of the amount of money that you made and the fact that you have these organizations come on and talk before the board meetings. Does anybody keep a dry eye?
Well, I was telling you, we did an impact moment at the partner meeting. I made a presentation celebrating our 10 years, and we had one of our students. She was from Ghana, I believe, and she came on and talked about what a difference our scholarship, our first generation scholarship, made to her and her family. And she was to the point of talking about how she's not sure if she can continue in school. Dad didn't have the money, and she says, so she talked about applying for the RSM scholarship and getting the scholarship and how that changed her life. And she's continuing with her studies, and she did that impact money. So that's an example, and there's hundreds of other examples, but that happens to be one where that was I think a few tears were shed during that. And we had 1,500 partners in the room during that.
Incredible stuff.
It's great stuff.
I've known Doug now creeping up on 20 years through all of this and the varied path that it has taken to the heights of glory that it enjoys today and the impact that it has today, and also a significant sporting event that it represents. But that road that you have helped pave and build is a path that you're going to kind of take a step aside from very, very soon. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Was I supposed to mention that?
Oh,
or keep that a
sure.
secret?
There's no secret about that. But no, after 26 years as a CFO, I stepped down really this summer and beginning to wind down. Still around for special projects. Still involved with the foundation, but it is time. And I'm doing it a long time. We define stewardship to start leaving it better than what you started, and we started from zero at the RSM US Foundation 10 years ago, and we'll give over, by the time this year is done, over $50 million. So it's time for somebody else to take over and continue.
What are you going to do with yourself?
Maybe I'll go into radio or TV or something like that.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if there's any openings. No doubt. That philosophy of leaving it better than you found it, it's working for the foundation. It's working for you guys as a corporation, clearly. It's working here at the RSM Classic. And as I mentioned, a lot of that is because of your individual efforts, your individual vision, the leadership that you provided, and then the collective that you had working behind the scenes with you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
It's awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. When we come back on the Fairways of Life show, waiting in the wings, I had a chance to catch up with some big names this week. And right after these words, we're going to touch base with Zach Johnson. The Fairways of Life show is presented by the PGA Tour Superstore, where in their walls you can find whatever you need for your golf game, whether you swing it, whether you wear it, whether you need to learn from it, coast to coast. They are the #1 golf retailer in the nation, and I believe it's because they have the best people in the industry. Check them out today.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, it creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core Holland material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal cabin. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
It is a delight to welcome you into the Fairways of Life show. Matt Adams here with you, and you can tell from the video you're watching on your screens that we are in a very, very beautiful place indeed here at the Sea Island Resort. And I have the pleasure of having the company of Zach Johnson, a 12-time winner on the PGA Tour and a multiple-time major champion at that. Zach, how have you been? Nice to see you.
Matt, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure. Good to be back.
So how's life?
You know, life's great. We're talking here at Sea Island. This is where I live. So coming home to actually work is special. I haven't been working much as of late. I've got a senior in high school that played football, so my priorities were as such. But coming back for the RSM, a tournament, and a bunch of people that are near and dear to my heart, it is legitimately one of my favorite, most special weeks of the year.
Well, Zach, let's pick up on that then. It was a perfect point that you brought us to, where you're talking about the relationship with RSM. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I overheard you say that you've been with RSM for 18 years?
That is accurate. I had to yes, there's a lot of math involved there. But yes, 18 years. I'm going to say that's a pretty unique deal there. But if you really were to deconstruct it and really peek into it, it's really not that shocking, and for a number of reasons. I mean, number one, from day one, we were kind of doing it together. We were approaching this kind of through the lens of like, hey, we're going to have some fun together. Certainly there's a business side to it. Certainly we are going to utilize myself, this beautiful signage, for the betterment of their company, but that was not the priority. The priority was, hey, we're going to go into the communities that RSM's present. We're going to showcase what we're all about. We're going to serve. We're going to give. And frankly, they've been a model for me, professionally and personally, on what it's like to be a good steward, I guess is probably the better word, of what's been given to them. And so when you center around relationships and I think doing the right thing at the right time, RSM has been the model for me.
I wonder how many people know that if it wasn't for your involvement, the RSM Classic probably wouldn't exist.
Well, I think we really got to narrow it down and filter it even further, that when my wife said, we're moving to St. Simon's Island, then it kind of hatched. I mean, there may be a little bit of truth in that. The bottom line is RSM already had their thumb on the pulse of golf. It was a different arena, but they wanted to amp it up. They wanted to make a bigger impact. They wanted to showcase what they're all about, their people are all about. Obviously, try to extend, the golf platform to their clientele. And so, having them down in the Glen County, Golden Isles area, I don't know how many times prior to 2010, they quickly fell in love with it. It's not an easy place to get to. At the same time, once you're here, you don't want to leave, and you almost feel like it's just special, and you want to come back. And so you couple that, and really with the big factor of having Davis, his foundation, I shouldn't say that, Davis and Robin, and their foundation based here, it just felt like, it's not about me by any means, but it was just meshing those two great entities together, and now we're 15 years into the RSM Classic, and in some respects it feels like yesterday. In a lot of respects, it's just been an awesome journey.
That's very, very cool indeed. Speaking about a journey, in February, you turned 49 years old.
That's correct.
Your thoughts about not only having a great career, but from the standpoint of longevity, that at nearly 50 years old and a whole new threshold awaiting you, that you've been able to stay relevant and continue to play and compete.
Well, I appreciate you saying it. I mean, I was in the workout trailer today, and guys, like, how many years it's been? I had to really think about how many years, and I think I got it right. It was like 21 or 22, something like that. Never in my dreams get to this point. I mean, I never even, I had aspirations, but I never really, had bulletin board dreams of like, hey, I'm going to, my entire career on the PGA Tour, it's too far-fetched to even dream that. So, when you reflect, I'm grateful for it. I mean,
the fact that I can call my job and what I would say my calling, so my vocation, the game of golf, that's not normal. I mean, it's not reality. It's not the mainstream profession. And so you can argue that I have never really worked a day in my life, but there's a grind to it at times too, especially on the body. At 49, I'm very, very fortunate. I have not been under the knife yet. I've got my, nicks and knacks that certainly surface, but I'm taking good care of myself. I want to keep playing, I mean, I don't know what the future is going to hold. I'm living kind of day to day, right where my feet are. That's always the way I've approached it. But I'm blessed, man. I mean, to call this game my job is something that, I hope I never take for granted.
That's Zach Johnson. I had a chance to catch up with him yesterday, and Chris Kirk as well, which you'll hear from a little bit later on in the program. We played that piece of what was a very long interview with Zach because he was focusing on his relationship with RSM, where we're here today for our partnership with RSM, and of course, this RSM Classic. As I mentioned, you'll hear from Chris Kirk coming up, and in both of the cases, you're going to hear their full interviews here in the Fairways of Life show a little bit more down the road. We'll let you know what it is because we got into some really cool things with Zach. We talked about the significance, of course, of winning the Masters and the unbelievable fact that when he won the Open, oh, by the way, it was at the old course of St. Andrews. And with Chris, he touched on some really personal things that I know can impact and change a lot of lives. This is Donna Sharapa sitting next to me. She has, here's her official title. Enterprise Client Experience Leader is the title that she has. How are you doing, by the way? You okay?
I'm great. Good
How did you get a title like that?
Well, it's a new title for the firm.
How do you apply for that job?
Well, that's another story. But I am the firm's first enterprise client experience leader. And we really did this because we needed to focus on what's going on around us and the change that's happening all in the world. Our clients are changing. They're becoming increasingly complex, increasingly global. And by having a focus on making sure that we're delivering the very best experience to our clients is really what we need to do to make sure we serve them well.
Why does it sound like you're going to Vegas with them and seeing, like one of their residency concerts or something? What does that mean? You're calling them on the phone saying, are we doing the right thing?
No, we're not. Well, yes, we do. Actually, we do. We do ask them if we're doing the right thing. But what we try to do is we try to put clients in the center of everything that we do to make sure that every interaction with our client is improving our experience with them. So we're not taking them. Well, we're taking them here. Taking them here to the Classic.
Why not? This is paradise right here. There's no doubt about that. I want to ask you about this event because there's something, Donna, that I think represents. I'm going to call it a corporate soul. And I know that sounds really grandiose and all the rest. But what I'm talking about is there are things that corporations do that show you who they truly are. You guys have gotten involved with a PGA Tour event. So aside from the fact that it is a significant athletic event, this is really important to the PGA Tour season as a culminating point. This is a period at the end of the year, and there's so many questions that have to be answered through the course of this week. But the questions that you guys are asking yourself have to do with charity and giving back and using this forum, then using this as a platform and a stage to have experiences with clients. How do you define all that? How do you define that this was the right place at the right time and that this collectively, this medium is working for RSM?
Well, this is our ultimate client experience, to bring our clients down here and spend time and build relationships. But very importantly, we're really focusing on building our relationships with our communities. And we talk about the power of love. I mean, it is an amazing way, and it's all around golf, that our employees we have 17,000 employees, and they contribute so that we can give that money back to our local communities. Amazing. And it's really, stewardship is one of our core values, and being here at the Classic with the PGA and with the players, and the players are they're great. They spent time with us yesterday at our charity putting contest. They engage with the kids, and they're fun. Warm, and they're teaching them, and it's just so exciting. It's we love being with our clients. It's great relationship building, but we also love the fact that we can really give back to our communities. Yeah, that putting contest that Donna was talking about was really unique yesterday. We had the largest galleries we've ever had for that. Now, that's not too surprising because you've got 10 world-class PGA professionals
that are a part of it, but there was also one Caitlin Clark that was a part of it as well. And she brought out some people that were curious to get a chance to see her and say hi to her and cheer her on, as well, as she was one of the, I guess you guys were all playing, you were as well, out there with the bibs on, assisting your respective teams. It's just one of many, but a very unique event here.
Yeah, it was fabulous. And Caitlin, great to meet her. She was great with the kids as well. They loved her. They were excited to see her, and she was. Oh, there she is. Yeah, she was terrific.
This was a putt that she took. Watch how good a putt she puts on here. That thing was in all the way. She got home to par 5 and 2 yesterday, and she was as Donna is describing, she was engaged with everyone. And you had the Boys and Girls Club here, you had the Special Olympians here, and she was taking pictures and hanging with everyone. Then they did a big group photo later on. It was very, very cool. And again, the 10 PGA professionals that were here were amazing too, from the PGA Tour, from Davis Love and Zach Johnson and Chris Kirk, right on down the line. Jake Knapp was one of those who was out here. He's back and he's healthy again. I got a chance to chat with him a little bit yesterday. It was really, really cool experience. Now, speaking of experiences, because we've been using that as a theme of our discussion with Donna so far today, you mentioned the fact that you have your clients here.
We do.
What is that experience like for the clients coming in? What's if you were a client coming in from whatever part of the country or world that you're coming in from, what would their day-to-day be like when they're here?
Well, all of our clients have hosts, so we make sure that we've got an RSM host assigned to each one of them, and they're generally they have a relationship with them before they come. If not, they develop a relationship while they're here. But we take them golfing, we take them to our evening events. We walk along the course with them. We have a wonderful RSM chalet where we can entertain them and spend time with them. Last night we had a great concert, and we had a bunch of our clients there. It was a lot of fun. And then tonight we have a wonderful reception here. And so we have a lot of opportunity to spend time and build relationships with our clients.
How do you get enough rest this week? Or don't you? You just go home and sleep?
Well, this is a busy week. I think everybody's tired by the end of the week. But, there's so much adrenaline, so much energy here that people just love it. So it's well worth it. It's well worth the time and effort.
Given the fact that you're in an executive position, not only with your respective job individually, but also collectively for the firm, do you feel that your objectives with what you hope to achieve with aligning yourself with the game of golf and the PGA Tour and with the Sea Island Resort as a host site for it, are you guys meeting the objectives that you want?
Absolutely. We've had just tremendous success. We just this is our 15th year, and we certainly take a look at it. But I'll tell you, being here at this beautiful place, Sea Island, Georgia, the hospitality here, the warmth of the people, the engagement with the players have with our clients, it's a wonderful event, a wonderful way to be with our clients, and we really consider it the ultimate client experience. And our clients tell us they love coming, and so we do everything we can to get as many clients as we can down here.
It's amazing. So as we are broadcasting around the world today, what would your message be, Donna, to them, to the people that need it, as to why they should come to RSM?
Why they should come? Why our clients should come? Well,
not the clients you have.
The clients that we want.
Let's talk to the ones that are out there and they need help.
Absolutely. All around Sea Island, you see the phrase, the power of being understood. Mm-hmm. And that is our promise. That's our promise to our clients. We promise our clients that we're going to understand their business, and we're going to do everything we can to earn their trust. We want to be their trusted advisor, their first choice. And we're very committed to enabling their future. Helping our clients be successful is what really gives us a lot of energy. And so that's the kind of client service we want to deliver.
It's awesome. Well, thank you for everything that RSM has delivered now over 15 years of this RSM Classic. You guys are making a difference, again, both from a professional sporting event perspective, but I think in this context, equally as important, if not more so, in the fact that you are impacting lives with everything that you're doing. And I'm not just talking about the charity side, which is critically important. And it's a thing that pulls at our heartstrings, and the events like we had yesterday and throughout the course of the week, and the events that go on throughout the course of the year because of that power of love. But I'm also talking about the way that you impact the business world with helping people have confidence to make the right decisions day in and day out. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Have a
for
great
all of
day.
It is great to see
Okay, you too.
Levi is going to grab your microphone from you there. And Dom, I want to ask you about something. I didn't see, I don't know how, and maybe it was like the cycle of golf news because we're in transit as it was happening. But the story about Brian Harman, they called it when we got the sound back from the press room, a family tragedy. And I guess one of his children was swept out to sea in a strong undertow, and someone went in to try to save the child, and that person became distressed. And I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, they're in a coma right now, and then another second person came in and saved the child. Do you have any information on what's going on? We're going to play sound from Brian Harman here in just a moment to explain.
Yeah, there's obviously no good way to transition to something like this, unfortunately.
It's very concerning.
Brian will speak to all of this. We're going to play a clip from him. He answers a lot of the questions that you have right now. What you just laid out is, in fact, really what took place. Well, Brian was playing in a tournament in China last month, like a month and a half ago, whatever it was. Their 6-year-old son was bodyboarding and got caught into a rip current. And a couple people went into his child was saved, but one of the folks that went in, who was a family friend, got caught, and I believe they're still in a coma. But Andrew, we have this sound from Brian, who spoke to all of this yesterday in his press conference. Here was Brian Harman.
So I'll try to make it through this as best I can. When I was in China, my son was. My wife took my kids. And our family friend Kathy Dowdy down to Ponte Vedra for vacation. My son was involved. He was out boogie boarding one of his really good friends. Got ripped out to sea by just a rip current. We get them here. It's not something that's abnormal, but this was an abnormally bad one. Kathy Dowdy, who's been a family friend, really, we call them family friends, but they're family. She went in the water. She went in the water after my son. He's 6. Couldn't get to him. Another gentleman coming down the beach, Crane Cantrell, jumped in. He makes it out fine. Kathy injured really badly in the water. She's been in a coma for going on 6 weeks now. And so obviously our world down here was kind of turned on its head. And, I don't really know what I wanted to kind of say other than I wanted to use whatever platform I did to bring awareness to what Kathy did, what Crane did. They disregarded themselves, went into the water, saved my son. And, how you think people like that, I don't know other than to just say what you think. And, I think that bravery and doing something like that for people who aren't your blood is just the most beautiful thing you can do in this life. So Kathy's still hurt real bad. She's up in Savannah, and we're thinking about her. The outpouring of support we've gotten from the Glenn County and St. Simons community has been another one of the just most touching things I've ever experienced. And for all we've been through, and for how terrible it's been for Mike and Christina and Nicole, they're family for us, and we're with them to the end. And I appreciate everybody that's helped us out through all this, and prayers for Kathy.
Indeed, Brian Harman addressing the media about the incident, and prayers for Kathy, surely from all of us. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to hear from another prominent player, of course, in the PGA Tour, 6-time winner of the same, in Chris Kirk. Stay with us. More of the Fairways Live Show coming up after this.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 irons, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG history. Our new quantum core material explodes off the face. Are you kidding me? The Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of forgiveness, speed, distance, and feel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that trajectory. Just phenomenal. Gen 7. It doesn't get any better.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Getting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Getting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour. Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
And it's a pleasure to welcome you into the Fairways of Life show. Matt Adams here with you. We are in a very, very beautiful place indeed here at Sea Island. You can see some of the beauty of this special place on your television screens, and I'm delighted to be joined to start today's show by Chris Kirk, a 6-time winner on the PGA Tour. Chris, how are you? How's things going?
Doing great. Thanks. I appreciate you having me here, and always fantastic to be here at Sea Island, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. Now, we're here at Sea Island and actually conducting this interview because of the RSM Classic. And that's another place that you've made yourself very familiar over the years. Mm-hmm. What is it about this tournament, the connection, that keeps you coming back?
There's a lot of things, really. I was a Sea Island resident for 7 years straight out of college, and just really loved my time here. Such a great place to live and prepare and practice. And then Mark and Davis Love have been such huge mentors to me throughout my entire career, and just meant so much to me, just with everything, with any questions that I had about professional golf. And Mark was my swing instructor for about 5 years, and he and I are still close, and so really that very special relationship with them. Winning the tournament in 2013 makes it pretty easy to want to come back, for sure. And then now being an RSM ambassador for the last 6 or 7 years has been just an amazing relationship, and one that I really cherish, for sure.
Chris, do you have a certain checklist that you run down when you're trying to make a decision of, okay, I want to align myself with this company, and I feel like this company aligns themselves with me because?
A lot of it kind of depends on what it is. If you're looking at an equipment deal, obviously you want it to be, what is the best product for me, With corporate sponsorships, I'm more looking at like, okay, what is this company all about? What are these people all about? And so the process is really cool, actually. You know, I always kind of tell, you know, Jeremy Elliott's my agent, who sort of runs a lot of that stuff for me, and I always just kind of tell him, like, just get me on the phone with them, get me in person with these people, and then we can see, you know, because it has to work both ways. You know, they have to think that I'm going to be a good representative of their company and what they believe in, and it has to work the other way as well. It has to be someone who I can see myself aligning with, and you know, share kind of similar values and beliefs and what we think that we can do as we work together. So it's a really fun process, and you know, not all of them work out for one reason or the other, but there have been a handful that have been really special for me in my career, and RSM is certainly one that, you know, I will do everything in my power to keep this on the front of my hat for the rest of my career. I mean, it's been fantastic.
RSM's motto is the power of being understood, and it kind of, I can see a synergy with you, Chris, because you've been so good at sharing with the world who you are in every way, that there's a power to that as well. Is that part of kind of, and I know your relationship started prior to all of that, but has that only been enhanced by the person you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I appreciate you saying that. So yeah, that was another very sort of telling thing, you know, when I stepped away from the game to kind of work on my personal life and get back to where I wanted to be as a person, as a father, as a husband, all those type of things. You know, I had a lot of people that supported me and helped me along the way, but none did so more passionately and more genuinely than the people at RSM that I work with. Mm-hmm. And so that was an amazing experience for me to see that true level of caring, not necessarily for my professional golf career or whether my hat was going to be on TV or not, but to have that be so obvious that they just really cared about me as a person and just wanted me to get better. And so now, you know, fast forward, you know, 3, 4, 5 years from that, where I do feel like my life is in a very good alignment and that I have my priorities where they need to be. It's kind of made the relationship even better, I would say.
That Chris Kirk, part of a longer conversation that Matt had with Chris just yesterday. We're going to get to more of that as the days and weeks roll on. The women on the LPGA Tour are at the CME Group Tour Championship, which is the season-ending event for the LPGA Tour. And Lydia Ko met with the media yesterday, and she had a special guest with her.
Yeah, you know, going into the year, I knew that the Olympics was probably going to have the biggest star, you know, in my schedule. You know, I started the season off with a bang, you know, winning the HGV Tournament of Champions at my home club at Lake Nona. But then I struggled, you know, from spring to leading up into summer. And I don't think there was a lot of expectations, you know, going into the Olympics, just because I hadn't had many top tens, you know, going into that event. But the Canadian Open, where it's already a special event for me, where I've, you know, had my first LPGA win, I was able to get a lot of confidence back, and I think that led to, you know, the 3 wins in my 4 starts. So yeah, it's been a special year. Adopted this handsome man at the Mizuho in New York. So it's been awesome, and you know, to be able to share these moments, you know, with my family and my team is honestly been a fairy tale of a season. Yeah, you know, it means a lot, especially because it is voted on by, you know, the fellow players on tour. You know, we all go through a lot of things, whether it's, you know, golf related or things off the golf course, and to be recognized, you know, for, you know, the journey that I've had, it's a huge honor. And, you know, I personally didn't know Heather, but, you know, the stories I've heard about her and the fight that she put on until literally her last breath, you know, I'm very grateful to be able to receive an award under her name. And, you know, for me to continuously be able to embrace Heather's spirit and the fight that she put on, her whole life. Definitely not. Even when I go back to my first Canadian Women's Open, I was just excited to be able to play alongside the best female golfers. And as an amateur, we don't get that many opportunities to play on the LPGA and have starts. So it was just a, eye-opening experience for me. But then, fast forward another, 13 years, did I think that I was going to win, all of the awards that was possible? No. But, I've had my ups and downs, during my career. Some of the best golf I played, and then, struggled for like 5-6 years, and then become Player of the Year again 7 years later. And it's, in ways, I wish I had a more consistent career, but I'm still so grateful for, all of these experiences, the losses and the wins, and all of those moments build up to make me the player I am today. And there were a lot of tears that was shed, but at the same time, there were a lot of laughter as well and joy. So I'm just so grateful for the experience, and I know that I'm on, the second chapter, past the halfway point. So I'm just excited for what's ahead, and just to say I'm a Hall of Famer in the sport and in the job that I do. Not everybody gets to say that, so I just feel very privileged to be in this position.
Lydia Ko, if you didn't already know, a Hall of Famer now. She collected her, I think it's the 27th point that she needed to get into the LPGA Hall of Fame. She did that at the Summer Olympics, and she's only the 25th player all time now to qualify for the LPGA Hall of Fame on those points, on that point system. So an extraordinary career and still going. An extraordinary week here at the RSM Classic. Matt has been whisked away by dignitaries, unsurprisingly. And we just want to say thank you to everybody involved on camera, behind the scenes. It's always an incredibly special week every time we come to Sea Island. If you haven't been, go, and go now. All the best. We'll see you next time.